looks like we're gonna pick up a tanker, I believe. Right here in Billings, Montana. We're gonna take it to Butte, Montana. Papa Pickle with you here tonight on this trip. Come along and enjoy the ride. American Truck Sim. We're gonna double check up here. Make sure there's nothing else available right out of this lot. I don't like the deadhead. Deadheading to me don't make no sense. If I can get a load right here, I don't care. We're gonna take that job. We're gonna go to Bozeman. There's my trailer. I already see it. My last video, I kind of talked a little bit about law enforcement and DOT and stuff like that. I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. I have a huge respect for those guys. I believe the vast majority of them are out there just trying to do their job, and their job is to keep things rolling down the highway safely. I sincerely believe that, and I believe sincerely that most of them are sincere in that endeavor. However, I will point out that sometimes in life, not just in that aspect of it, but in all aspects of life as you walk through it, you will come across that individual that just absolutely thinks they are smarter, wait for the click, smarter than anybody in the world, and they have all the answers. So this is my advice to you in the trucking business. If you think you might run into somebody like that in this industry, well, the best way to avoid any confrontation is to just do it better. Make sure your truck is up to par. Make sure everything is working. Do a better job. Do it so good that they can't say anything about it. Be very careful. Be very diligent. Be very committed to the load that you're hauling, and not only the load that you're hauling, but the people you're hauling it for. And be committed and very respectful of the other people that are out there on the highway. You have to be. Yeah. I got that Jake brake a little tight for these low gears. It's all right. We'll be out on the interstate here shortly. American Truck Simulator. Here I am, 58 years old, playing the game and enjoying myself. I really do enjoy this. This is, in a lot of ways, it's really, it's the real world, practically. Takes a little getting used to, a couple of things you got to get used to, but one thing I have noticed, you see that? Cars always got to get out in front of a truck. One thing I have noticed, I keep having to use the clutch, and I'm just not used to using a clutch in a semi. I never used it, except to put it in first gear. After that, never used the clutch. Yeah, that Jake's a little tight. Oh, I think I killed it. I'll do that. Become notorious for it. All right, guys. Sit back and hang on. We're going to be on the interstate for a while here. We'll think of some notorious story to tell you as we drive along. Oh, way station. I'll turn this Jake brake down a little bit. Well, I get a red light on the way station. It is open. Well, I guess I got to pull in here. give you another piece of advice about scales. When you are pulling onto a man's scale, do not jam your brakes. And I am done. Away we go. Hey, at least I didn't unhook the trailer this time. Remember what we talked about earlier on about scanning those mirrors? Always checking. Checking. Believe it or not, I've had cars pass me on the shoulder in a semi. So you've always got to check that shoulder too. You're not just looking at the tires or any disruptions. Smoke. Keep an eye out for smoke. Maybe you got a hot bearing. Really got to pay attention. Another trick is every time I stop when I'm driving down the road pulling a trailer, I just walk back and I just feel the hubs every time. If there's any deviation in the heat, generally there's no heat at all. But if one's hot, oh, you better be doing something about it. Because coming up next, you know what happens after a hub gets hot? Well, you blow a tire. And then you're changing a tire and you think it's just the tire. So you change the tire and you continue on. Well, then the hub gets hot again and blows another tire. Now you're changing another tire. You want to solve yourself a lot of heartache in this game. Keep your hands on them hubs every time you stop. Make sure they're not hot. And if they are hot, you better be either oiling or greasing those bearings. And if that doesn't work, you better be changing that bearing. And that's just called being a responsible driver. Because if that hub bearing goes out and that hub comes off and that wheel assembly comes off, it can really, really do some damage. That can really hurt somebody badly. It's kind of a long old trip for me. I think the bill of lading said 311 miles. Wow. And I've just been taking them short jumps, them short trips. So this is a little further than usual for me. That's all right though. Now I know it's different for everybody, and I'm not discouraging drivers from being long haul truck drivers. I mean, that's fine. But I think back to the sleepless nights when I was hauling cattle. And in that game, when you load that cattle on your trailer, you don't stop. You just keep going until you get them to where they gotta go. Still trying to get used to driving this thing going this fast. It's a little touchy, but I'm getting the hang of it slowly but surely. I'm just going to jump off here and see if there's a place to fuel this thing up. I would certainly hate to run out of fuel. Right over there, I think. I seen a green light over there. So I'm going to take up 2 lanes here on the exit ramp. Y'all just going to have to get used to it. Red light violation. I just turned right on red. That ain't right. That was a quick, easy little stop. I must have pulled out in front of a car. Well, I got a crash violation on that little maneuver. Hope Johnny Law don't come get me. You look, make sure nothing's coming, and it just appears. So, I don't know what we're supposed to do about that. Be more diligent, I guess. Well, we're gonna jump back out here on the big road. Now, are you gonna give me a ticket if I take a ride on red? You did a little bit ago, and that was bullshit. I'm going. Damn it. Did it again, boys. Missed the gear. Put it in reverse, actually. Well, Butte, Montana's 74 miles. Been through there a few times. Looks like I'm gonna have to back off. Old grain hauler ahead of me there. Having a little trouble. Struggling up the big hill. That's all right. I'll just slow down a little bit and let him go on. Carry on. I'm not going to go around him because I'm just going to impede traffic. I'm just going to impede cars. You all right up there, big truck? You broke down. It's just so realistic. It just, everything about it reminds me of this area. Way station, huh? Huh. You see that guy cut me off? Ain't no point in getting mad at him. He ain't do nothing about it. Cattle guard. Just making sure I know where I'm going here, boys. Ain't no sense in getting in no hurry. Wasn't paying attention to them X's there. Can't go that way. Looks like we're going to have another successful day out here on the highway with American Truck Simulator and the formal pickle. If you've just been riding along and watching, listening to a little bit of the stories I tell, or which were kind of slim today, I understand that. I enjoy telling stories, and I do enjoy driving this truck. I must admit that. I do enjoy it. Trucking's always been a part of my life. I've been in and out of trucks all my life, so actually my whole family. But drop this trailer, call it a day. Here's what we got. Boys, we drove 313 miles. According to this, it took us 9 hours, 8 minutes. We used 66.5 gallons of fuel. We made base money of $16,754, level 5 proficiency bonus. But anyway, been a pleasure. Hope you enjoyed the ride, and I enjoyed doing it with you. And till next time, this is Papa Pickle on behalf of the Formal Pickle. Good night.